Hello and welcome to this episode of the Salisha Show. You know, I feel my whole heart is warm, not just because of this apple cider, but because I'm looking at the face of a dear friend, one of my best friends, actually, who happens to be a woman of many talents. Other than being a beautiful human from the inside out, she you can't really pin her down. Yes, she's an actress, which we will get into, but she's also an intellectual. She could have very easily she could have just as easily been a lawyer, a full-time blogger, a real estate agent. She is so smart, and when she's reading, it's never just light reading, unless if it's a book that I chose for book club. She reads the densest, heaviest, longest books she can get her hand on. And in addition to that, and there's so much more, I know her from performing with her in the Carole King Musical on Broadway. And you can also see her in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Please welcome my best friend, Gabrielle Elisabeth.
Yay! What a great introduction. Thank you so much for having me today, Salisha.
Gab, I miss you. I love you. What's
I
up?
miss you too. You know, God, thank heavens, is up. He's up there and he's looking down on me because, things are great. Things are hard, but things are what they are. And I think that's the best way that I can describe my life. I think when you were mentioning the fact that I wear a lot of different hats and I love a lot of different things, and what comes with that is turmoil.
Dang.
Because when
Yeah.
you're spread thin,
And you
sometimes it
do
weighs
that
on you. But
easily because your hands are in so many different things, and we can get into this as much or as little as you want to.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Obviously, I've seen you in your crowning glory when you're a freaking beast on Broadway. You open your mouth and it's like, how dare
Uh,
you? But you're just as good as at other things as you are as at performing,
well, thank you.
which I can only imagine. Sometimes I'm talking to you and I'm like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, just taking the LSAT. I'm like, wait, for what? Like, who the hell are you? We're in the dressing room. What am I reading? I don't know, like How to Be Beautiful. And you're reading
Medical apartheid. I
Medical
wish I could remember
Apartheid.
the artist, but I mean I guess the writer. I can't remember the author, but yeah, I just try my best to be informed and have my hands. I like having my hands in so many different things because I think the world it's so rich. And why just make myself only be able to do one thing? I definitely have the things that I love the most, but there's also so many other things that I want to do, and I just can't wait to do them. So I'm trying and sometimes it's a blessing and a curse. It's when you're not focused on one thing, sometimes you don't ever really end up succeeding to its full potential.
Right.
Uh, and so when those moments happen, such as Broadway, it's like the best cake ever. Because you're like, all that stuff that I did to lead up to this moment, oh, it's paying off and it feels so good. But a lot of times I'm in the friggin' trenches. I am in the trenches. But also, I love the work. So whether that's me preparing for the LSAT, looking back on that now, I remember going through it and you got so many phone calls or texts from me of me just crying because it was hard. It was hard and
Well,
it's hard to
yeah.
learn new things. But looking back, I'm so proud of myself. And I love that I have friends like you because but when you're going through it, you don't see that. You don't feel that. You just feel like you suck.
Oh my gosh, me and
But
Jose
then
are like, can you believe this, girl? Like, you don't take on easy feats. You're not like, let me go get a job at a grocery store. Like, you're like, let me
Mhm.
study for the LSAT. How dare you? Like, your bar is set so high all of the time. And I watch you dive all of the way in and succeed. There's a lot of we experience failure all the time as actors and everything, but I also watch you succeed, and it's so inspiring. It's so encouraging. I remember, and we can talk about this. We don't have to talk about this, but I remember when we were on Broadway, you were paying off your student loans like it was nothing.
I remember that.
And I still wonder, like, did we have the same salary? How are you doing that? Like, how did you pay off so much student debt in such a small amount of time?
You want the short answer or the long answer?
You
Because
tell me
there's a
whatever you want to tell me.
in summary, number one, I had to get because it's a process. It took a lot of undoing of mental roadblocks. Number one, first off, I had to acknowledge the debt. Until you acknowledge something, it's not tangible and you can't attack it. So first, I had to acknowledge it. I had to say, you know what, Gabrielle, you have what was at the time $50,000 of debt. That is yours, even with my education. Don't get me started on that. The prices of that. We could have a debate about that. But education, even with my scholarships, because I went to school in Georgia, I had the Hope Scholarship, which paid for most of my tuition, but I got a double major in English and theater, and so it didn't cover every single class. Plus, it doesn't cut that. You don't even think about housing, which isn't free, and then on top of that, what am I going
Mhm.
to eat? And then on top of that, how am I going to
Right,
put gas in my car? Like
right,
all of
right.
these things that I didn't account for when I went into school, thinking that, oh, I have a scholarship. Scholarships, don't let that fool you. It's not everything. If you don't have, and thankfully also I had a supportive family, which I don't come from a rich family by any means, but my family will scrape together anything. Even if it's just $50, if it will help to ease the burden off of me. So I was dealing with that. Thankfully, I had all these support systems, and then my resilience, by God's grace and mercy, I had that. But I was working two jobs, getting a double major, and I was doing theater. So, and I was a president of my service fraternity for 2 years. And before that, I was at least an officer. I don't know how I got through college. And I remember my mom calling me and saying, "Are you okay?" And I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine," and trying to slow me down because she was worried about me. I would
right.
work. Literally, my schedule would be, I'd go to class at 8 a.m. was usually my first class was. I'd
8 a.m.
have 8 a.m. and then I tried to break up my schedule because I would try to do 18 credit hours every semester so that I could graduate in 4 years instead of 5 years, which I accomplished. But and so I started 8 a.m. and then I go until what time? Usually 2 o'clock, and then from 2 to 5, I would work in the costume shop. At my school, which they would pay me for, but not that much. But at least I was working within my field with my professors and getting to know them, making those
Right.
connections. And then after that, I'd have 1 hour to usually get something to eat. And then I'd go to rehearsal from 6 to 11 and then take a nap, and then I wake up at 1 a.m. and then I go work at Kroger. Speaking of grocery stores, like you did at the beginning, I've worked at a grocery store. I work at Kroger from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up and do it all over again every single day. And I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I did it. But to answer your question about the debt, had to get honest with myself that I had it. Then I learned that you need to pay it in a pyramid. So I target the loans, and I'd start with the smallest ones first so that the interest didn't keep compounding. We can talk about that. Oh, oops. So the interest didn't keep compounding. And then I realized in terms of my spending, because I think everyone should be able to enjoy their money. You shouldn't just save, 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 and not have fun. I
Right.
realized what was important to me and what I love clothes, number one. And the way that I got around that and just like spending frivolous money at our theater, everyone would just buy stuff and just like put it in the bin. And I'm like, this is brand new. What are you
That's
doing?
so true. I
I have
miss
no
that.
issues with a hand me down. I have no qualms whatsoever. And
Gab,
plus, in
I
terms
miss
of
that.
preserving for the environment, me too. I got so many outfits.
For
It was like
those
the best thing.
who don't know what we're talking about, backstage at Beautiful, when people wanted to get rid of clothes, instead of taking it to like a Goodwill or somewhere, like sometimes it would end up there, but we would take it to work first, and if anybody wanted to wear anything in there, we would literally just share clothes, and then at the end we would donate anything that no one else wanted to like Goodwill or somewhere,
Hmm.
and it was like closet swapping because we could all wear each other's clothes. If only
It
I
was
could get my big old
awesome.
feet into everybody else's shoes.
Not your big old
I
feet.
know. I Oh,
That is hilarious. But it was
uh,
awesome. But that saved me money. It saved me so much money.
where did you learn the pyramid thing? Did you get that out of a book? Did you just think of it?
I learned it from my significant other. He taught me. He told me. He
Oh.
was like, he's really good with money. And he was like, this is what you need to do. And that was a tough conversation. We fought. We fought. He's the one who helped me realize that I had all this debt that I needed to tackle. And he tread it lightly. I remember we were in
Mm,
Europe, backpacking through Europe, and we were where were we? I think we were in Budapest. And we were walking
that's
up this
fun.
hill. I would never forget. We got into the biggest fight. The biggest fight. I did not, and I was like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you. But I had to be with him because I was in a foreign
You were
country
in
and had nowhere
Budapest.
else to go.
Ah,
So I'm like trying to get away from him, and he's just following me because I
because
didn't want to get. He has to.
he has to. Aw. Wait, that's so sweet.
Freaking funny is that? That is hilarious. But it was, and that fight lasted for a while, and then I don't know if you've ever watched How I Met Your Mother, but
A little bit.
Marshall, and what's her name? Not April. I can't remember the character's name. Lily, Marshall and Lily. They would pause their fights because it's like we're in a fight, but we also have things to get done.
Oh,
So they press pause. They'd be or like let's say they're in a fight and then something the person this isn't what happened, but let's say the person hurt themselves. It's like, okay, we're gonna pause this fight. Baby, are you okay? Oh my gosh. And then unpause.
wait, that's amazing. That actually makes me wanna go back and watch How I Met Your Mother
Yeah.
because I love that,
Yeah.
and, like, Andrew and I were talking about that, like, sometimes we fight, but, like, at the end of the day, we still love each other, but we're, like, this is my first
Mhm.
time really fighting with a significant other because usually I fight with a guy who I'm just dating, and it's like, "Okay, well,
Peace.
see you later." Like, I don't it's not that deep, and so it's like, "Okay, so how do we fight and keep going?" And so, like, do you have any light to shed on that? Like,
Mhm.
what do you do? Like, how do you keep going and make it
Yeah.
still, like, like, you're loving?
Well, the best way I can answer that, love is patience,
Oh
love is
gosh.
kind. And no,
No.
but seriously. And also, you cannot like something someone did and still love them. Those two things can exist at the same time. And it took me a long time to understand that. And it took me living some life to really grasp that idea because when I was younger, I thought you're either good or you're bad, especially growing up in the
Mm,
church that I did. I thought, especially with the Bible study stories, you don't really hear the depth of it when you're little, and especially the stories aren't really written that in depth because they want children to be able to understand it. So it was like there are bad people like Goliath, and there are good people like Daniel. That's how I looked at the world, very black and white.
mm,
Hero and villain. But then I realized, especially as an actor, especially when they talk about when you have to play a villain, how do you do that? How do you play a villain and care about this person? You have to relate to that person. You have to see the humanity within that person in order because everyone thinks that they're doing the right thing.
wow.
And so especially when you're fighting, going back to relationships, when you're fighting in that relationship, I have to remind myself this person loves me and they're not trying to hurt me. So even if they are hurting me, it's not on purpose. And if it is on purpose, then that's another conversation and you could talk about
Correct,
that because
correct.
sometimes it is, but usually at the heart of it, especially with a person you've decided to give your life to, they
Mm,
don't want you to hurt. And if they are, what's going on? What is this really about?
right.
Get to lead with grace. Lead with grace if you can. And in a relationship, it's nice. You got it. But both people have to agree to that. It can't just be one person doing it. Both people have to go back and forth
Right,
and have to
right.
see that and hear that. Um, so I guess the best way to answer your question is lead with love.
Mm,
Um, Sometimes it is going to be a blow up fight, but make sure that you're choosing your words wisely and always try to make sure that the person can understand what you're saying and not feel what you're saying. Does that make sense? You don't want to hurt. When I say feel what you're saying,
uh,
I feel like you can attack a person and be like, you're
uh,
doing this and you're, don't do that. You love that
Mm.
person. Why would you treat them that way? Treat that person kinder than you would
That's
treat
what I
yourself.
feel like. I feel like sometimes the world can be a big bad place. Sometimes, especially New York, can like kick you across the face when it feels like. I feel like coming home at the end of a long day, I want that to be the most loving place. I
Mhm.
don't wanna come home and fight. I wanna come home and be like, "I've been waiting to see you all day." Like, I know it can be easy to, like, be hard on the people who are closest to you, maybe out of familiarity, maybe out of, like,
It's safe.
yeah,
I'm just listening. It's
oh,
because it's
yeah.
safe. People treat the people they love the worst.
I don't like that. I don't like
Why
that.
would you do that? Nikki Giovanni, there's an interview of her that I've seen on. I love her. Oh, Nikki, if you're listening, I would love to meet you and talk to you and be your friend forever and ever.
Oh,
But she was talking about how, and I'm gonna misquote her, but I'll maybe find the link and send it to you. You can add it here. But
okay.
she talks about how, why do you pretend in the world and you give them the best of you, and then you come home and I get the worst of you? No,
Mm.
pretend with me too.
Oh,
Pretend with me too. I don't I shouldn't. Yes, you think it's safe here and you can just like take all your layers off, and yes, you can. Yeah, you can be closer and more honest and vulnerable with me, but I shouldn't be getting the worst of you. I should be getting the best parts of you. So save a little bit of that for me.
hmm.
Save that, because we go out in the world, and yes, I too wear the mask. Maya Angelou, I wear the mask. Everyone does. Everyone's putting on their best face, and then they come home and they're exhausted. I get it. I get it. But save some of that for the person that you love the most,
Dang,
because that's who really deserves it.
dang.
And it's a constant thing. People think, oh, we're in love, we're in love, we're in love. Love is hard. My mom always told me love is a choice.
Mhm.
Love is a choice. You fall in love, and that's infatuation. And of course, there are people that you're more predisposed to liking just because of interests and energies and all of that. But to lasting love and to stay in love, it's a choice every single day. It's the littlest things.
Dang,
It's making a cup of coffee for yourself and making one for them, or whatever it is that they like.
whatever it
It's
is. Make me coffee
it's
too,
mhm.
or I'll make
Mhm.
your side of the
Hot
bed
chocolate
too.
for you. It's like I made coffee for me, but Salisha likes hot chocolate. And I know she likes peppermint in it too. So I'm gonna make her a peppermint
Why
hot
are you
chocolate.
my bestie
You
right
know what
now? Why
I
are you
mean?
like, I know exactly how Salisha likes her hot chocolate. That's so real. Oh my goodness. Please come back to New York so we can do our Starbucks trips
It's gonna be so
together.
much fun. Status. Oh,
The best part about
status.
holding a Starbucks cup when you walk into the room, it's like status. Ew! It's so true, though. It's like, how dare you be 5 minutes late and you walk
It's
into that
capitalism.
Starbucks?
Mhm.
Uh-uh.
Unfazed. Did I
Okay,
miss something? Thanks for waiting for me.
so wait,
What?
I have a couple things. So you said something before we started this interview, and it just kinda, like, low key blew my mind because
Mhm.
I feel like maybe I've thought it, but hearing somebody say it, it's like, "Oh, yeah, you said we can do a lot of things by ourselves." Okay. I'm sorry for those who weren't in that conversation, which is everybody except me and Gab. Putting it in context, it's like, yes, I can go to the store and buy a green juice, or I can juice celery and apple and cucumber at home. I can go to the salon and get my nails done, get my curls cut, or I can do my own nails, trim my own hair. We have the University of YouTube. Tell me more about let's can we just talk about this for a second? Because I just wanna digest it,
Mhm.
really for my own self.
Absolutely. So I learned this out of necessity, not coming from a lot of money. I was wealthy in love. That's how I like to put it. It's very
Oh,
wealthy in
man.
love, and but I had everything that I needed. That's how I grew up. I didn't go without. My parents, I was just gonna say my mother, but now the older I'm getting, I'm realizing how much my father really did show up for me and
Okay.
continues to show up for me.
Mm.
'Cause for a long time I was angry about that, but we'll get into that maybe. um,
Right.
so I didn't go without. I was never hungry. I always had clothes on my back. I always had a roof over my head, and for that I'm always thankful. but also I wanted to be the bomb. I wanted my nails done. I wanted my nails done, hair done, everything did. That is just always was within the heart of me. That's what I always wanted. I wanted to be fabulous. And I grew up with all boys, and I just didn't know how to
Right.
do it. I thought people were just more predisposed to being that than others, but it's not the truth. We've talked about this. It's
Oh, yeah.
learned. It's
It's
literally
learned.
skills. There's skills.
It's
And
yeah.
literally skills. And so, I taught myself how to braid my own hair because my mom didn't know how to do hair. So I taught myself. And then started doing other people's hair. It made money and it helped subsidize my income in
Dang,
college.
Gab. Your hair
I
looks good today, by the way, and I love the baby
Thank you,
hairs. I'm
girl.
loving
Thank
it.
you,
I
thank
really
you.
am loving
She's
it.
learning.
She looks good. She looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. And then from there, like in terms of my nails, I try to be as natural as I possibly can. So to me, getting that acrylic on your nails, and no shade to anyone who wants to do that. That's your choice. That's your right. But it's ruining your nails, and that's just a fact. And there's no way to get
It's
around
so
that.
like, honestly, like, we talked about this. The whole pandemic, didn't get my nails done. First of all, whole pandemic, nobody could get anything done. How many men walking around here with hair down to their butt? Because
Mm-hmm.
nobody could get a haircut for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody could do everybody had to do everything by themselves, at least for a little while during this
Yep.
pandemic.
And that's empowering
Right?
because you know what that showed and what you learned from that? How much money you've been wasting having these people do your nails, thinking that
Hello.
they're being healthy, but really they're ruining them.
Be
And that's why it's so. Go ahead.
Yes, you're right. I'm like, I get my nails done one time for the first time in 2 years, and now they are all brittle and
Hmm.
broken. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? They've been so strong for
Yep.
the last 19 months."
But you know what that teaches you? Because now that you're more aware of yourself and you're not just covering a problem, you understand what goes into having healthy nails, which is usually just leaving it alone. Now you have that knowledge and you can go find a good salon stylist person. I don't know if they're technician who
Yes.
worries about health rather than
Just what they look
the
like.
aesthetics. And so that's quality over quantity. I don't know, there's a better way to say that. But quality, you're looking for quality and your money's going to be well spent and it's going to give you longevity. But I feel like I keep going on these tangents, but like everything's so interconnected.
It is.
Everything's so connected. But again, back to how I got into this idea of self-sustainability is essentially what I'm talking about. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And when I can do something with my own two hands, it doesn't mean I'm always going to want to do it with my own two hands. I love going to the store or the juicer and buying a green juice because it's convenient. But
Mhm.
convenience shouldn't be the status quo. We need to be able to sustain ourselves with our own two hands, whether that's growing. Think about all of you go to the store and you buy all these herbs, you use maybe three leaves, and then all the rest of it just wastes and withers away.
Mhm.
No, how about you buy a plant and you put the plant in your windowsill and you grow your own herbs and you water it every morning and you
And
get to have that life in your apartment.
this isn't mainstream because this wouldn't make people money. If everybody was so
Boop.
self-sustaining, there's a whole industry that is banking on people not knowing what to do, how
Yep.
to do it, or not having the time to do it. That's all of it.
Yep.
So just
That's
imagine.
Starbucks.
Ugh,
That's these nail salons, hair salons. Because everyone wants to be rich and look, even if they're not, they want to look rich. And it's like, nah, man, you aren't Bill and Melinda Gates. I'm sorry. Maybe they
no,
can afford to do that every single day, but you probably
but
can't and
you need
shouldn't.
to go home. I feel like the best example for this for me is taking a makeup class, which was a lot of money in the moment. I was waiting maybe more than a year to take this makeup class in Texas. Houston, or was it Dallas? With Sheila Ibarra. When I did, you know this story, Gab. When
Hmm.
I did Miss World, Miss Texas, her face looked better than everybody's. I was like, I don't see you down at hair and makeup. Why you look so bomb, girl? She was like, girl, I took a makeup class before I got here. I do my own makeup every morning. Investing in myself and spending
Hmm.
all that friggin' money for that one class, I now have the tools I need that if no one is available, to do my
Mhm.
makeup, I know that I can at least beat the heck out of my own face.
You know who does their own makeup?
Who?
Meryl Streep.
Really?
Maybe not always, but mostly for these award shows and stuff, does her own makeup. So what you're saying is true. It's power. And she looks great. That's why also she's never, she never looks done. Like she looks like herself because she knows how her face looks and what her face needs. You look like yourself. And y'all, she dropped these gems for me too. Little tips here and there. Don't worry, makeup lady who taught her. I didn't get a full class, but I did get some tips too. And I'm like, I need to take this class for myself so I can know what's specific for my face.
Literally, though, that's, like, why I love hanging out with you so much. We like the same things, and it's like, "Okay,
Too.
what's the new thing? What are we going for? What's our new style? What are we eating? What are we drinking? What classes are we taking?" Like, that's my favorite freaking thing.
Literally.
I miss you.
It's like Cosmo. I miss you too. I really, really do.
I miss you
I miss our
so.
girl chats. Well, because also you have this really good talent of letting people just show up as themselves. You're like church. You really are.
Oh,
You're like church.
wait, no one's ever said that to me before.
Aw. You
Thank
are.
you.
You're welcome. Which is why this platform's so great. Because it's that's a quality not everyone has where people feel like they can just be themselves. No matter how they
Mm.
show up, it's enough.
Is it because
So
sometimes
thank
I'm,
you.
like, a nerd, and I'm a dork,
That's not
and
it
I'm,
to
like,
me. I think for
always
some
embarrassing
people,
myself?
I think for some people, me personally, I don't that my it's called Schadenfreude, like taking pleasure in other people's pain. Like from
Schene I don't know how to spell it.
Schadenfreude. Yep.
Making me
Um,
feel bad that I'm not you, something like that.
something like
Some
that. Not that, something like that. Yes,
I don't know the words to anything.
true.
Uh,
But for me, that's not it. I can see how that allows people to open up because it's like, oh, she's being silly. I can be silly too. No, to me, it's you just listen. You
Aw,
listen. You listen and you can regurgitate back what a person says to you, which means you were listening. You know what I mean?
okay.
You're like, you're in it. You're like in it with the person. It's like, I'm mad, you're mad. I'm sad, you're sad.
You
Ooh,
said I said.
we're going through this together. That's what it's like.
Oh my gosh, but you also know that life too, and part of being an actor, a lot of us are empaths, so it's
Hmm.
like, "We're going through this together." Don't let somebody mad walk into the dressing room.
Everyone's mad. And I don't even know what I'm mad about, but I'm mad,
I don't even
literally.
know why I'm mad at you, but I'm mad at you.
Yep. Literally. Literally. Yes.
I don't miss that particular thing, but I do miss that backstage, like, camaraderie
Hmm.
and it's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. Taking care of your body is cool." Do not
It's
get
my
me started.
favorite thing. It's my
Honestly,
favorite
you and
thing.
your fitness journey is so inspiring. I need you to post more videos of your fitness because it's really fierce and it just
Thank
comes
you.
naturally to you.
It's what I
So
love. It's literally, but the issue is I don't like the science behind it. I'm
you
like, I don't
have
really
to
need
do the
to know.
science?
Only reason why is because I'd be disrupting what other people do for their bodies. You know what I mean? And so if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to give information, I want to make sure that it's safe because I think a lot of people are looking for quick fixes. And if they don't really sit and listen to what I'm saying, especially when it comes to packaging and marketing things, people want boop,
Mm,
boop, 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 boop. And I'm not that. I'm like, let's sit down and talk about this. And maybe
mm.
I can get a following like that too. And maybe that's just a long game. I just need to really commit to that. Um,
Have you gotten, like, a personal training certificate? Because
I haven't.
I feel
No,
like
that's what I'm.
that should be
It's
one.
that energy that it would take.
I know, but, like, once it's done, it's
Yeah,
done, and that's
yeah,
what you do, like,
that's what
that
I
is what
do.
you do so well, and just having that in your back pocket, I think would give you that science that you're
Yeah,
wanting.
I have the books. I got like Not even a quarter of the way there. I was like, I'll get the books. Maybe I'll sign up for the class. I got the books on the low. I got it from someone else who had them, went through the class, and I bought them used. Y'all buy used things. First off, it's good for the environment. Second off, it's great for your pocketbook. Like, my
Mm.
gosh, buy used things. Who cares?
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I am gonna wrap up soon. Don't worry, we'll
Hmm.
kiki after. But
Yeah,
I
so I got
wanted
some kombucha.
honey, I'm
Yeah,
about to put something else in this hot apple cider. No, just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm drinking lemonade. Um, so I know that you just came to New York
yeah.
and you've been away for a while. We've had a pandemic, all sorts of life things, yada yada yada. But you came here, you posted about a reading that you did for
Hmm.
a couple of weeks in the city, and I'm so upset that I was in California and Vegas, literal 2
Literally where I live. Y'all have to understand, I live in California. We literally were
just
two ships passing in the night.
2 ships
That's what that was.
passing in the night. Oh my gosh, like, it really pained me. But while you were here, I wanna know how you felt
Mhm.
in terms of feeling safe around coronavirus, in
Mhm.
terms of working again, in the industry, um, the energy of the city. What did it feel like after being away for a while and coming back?
In terms of feeling safe, I felt very safe. New York does a mostly really good job of making sure people are vaccinated and making sure people are wearing masks and things of that nature. Even if the the vaccination is working, there's just that extra level of comfort for those who maybe don't feel as comfortable, so those people don't have to be shut in the house all the time. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, didn't feel uncomfortable at all. And then me personally, I'm a firm believer in taking care of your body, as we've just spoken about. And so I didn't feel like I was at risk at all because I eat my whole foods. I try to get 8 hours of sleep at night. I take care of myself, and I think that's our first line of defense. And plus I'm vaccinated. So with all of these things put together, and I'm wearing my mask. Like, so I felt really good. In terms of going back to work, it felt like breathing again. It felt like my breath had been held for so long. And my
Wow.
favorite part about performing is collaborating. I love the collaborative process. I love meeting new people in the rehearsal room, and these are my people. These are people who see the world in a very similar way that I do because we're all artists. And to have that, like someone from that reading, I need to text them back. I suck at texting y'all. For my friends listening, I'm so sorry if I don't text you back. It's not against you at all. Please call me, leave me a voicemail, be like,
You want a voicemail?
I do like a voicemail. I love a
Ugh.
voicemail. I'm old school. I'm so old school. But look, and that's old school. How is that old school? I thought letters were old school. Um, but yeah, someone texted me from that show a minute ago, just checking in because we made real and true connections. So that felt really great. And just like I was nervous though. I had a little bit of a breakdown before I came to New York. I was like, can I do this? Why did I commit my life to being an artist when I don't know if I'm going to be able to sustain this? Can I still dance? Can I still
Wow.
sing every day?
Yeah.
I don't, it's a muscle. We are athletes. We are
Yeah.
athletes. And so I was scared and cried and cried and cried, got all that out. And then I was like, nah, girl, you got this. And
Wow.
if you do fail and it's hard, you'll figure it out because everyone's just figuring it out. So it was a nice ego boost to know that number one, I'm still a part of this industry because sometimes I don't always feel like I am because I'm not that person who deals well in crowds. I prefer things like this that are
Mm,
one on one.
me
But you
too.
helped teach me this that it's the people who are supposed to be in your life will be in your life. The people you're supposed to connect to, that's going to mean so much more than trying to get the attention of the whole room. No, because you know
Mm.
what's going to happen? You're going to meet the right people and it's going to align, and everything that's supposed to happen will happen the way it's supposed to. And then when you're at the top, all them people that weren't checking for you, they'll be like, hey,
Oh,
girl. But then
hey,
you'll,
we were friends all the way back when. Uh,
and we weren't.
no,
And that's okay.
we weren't.
And
No.
that's okay. We can still be like, hi, bye. But like, you're not my friend. You're not my person. And people just use that word way too lightly. The word friend, like we have a lot of acquaintances in this business, not
Yeah.
friendships. And
Mm.
that's okay. But yeah, that's kind of my experience.
Okay, that's yeah, I feel that too, and I'm back in rehearsals this last week.
Yes, and I'm so happy for you. I am so tell
Girl,
me everything. What's that
oh
been
my
like for you?
gosh, it's a lot. Like, that first day after rehearsal ended, like, I just wanted to cry, like a release.
Mhm.
Like, waiting so long, 19 months? 19 months to go back to work? Like, yeah, I've been keeping busy, whatever, podcasts, whatever, but, like, I miss Broadway. And so a week of getting my butt handed to me. I'm like, "How does this go?" And
Mhm.
I was asking myself a lot of the same questions you just were, like, "Can I still dance?
Mhm.
What do I can I still hear harmony? How am I going to fit in? Am I gonna make friends? Like, will people like me? How do I be a swing? I've never been a swing before. What is that balance between doing my job, but not overstepping, but making sure that I'm not in the way, but, like, all the like, finding that balance, it's just been a lot, and, um, last night, Saturday night yesterday was a hard day for me personally, and you felt this before. The end of an 8-show week, that 6th day, it's like
A wall.
everything is wrong.
It's a wall.
There's a wall there, and I
You're
hit
forgetting stuff. Everything you thought you got, you didn't.
it's hard, and I ended rehearsal yesterday being like, "You know, am I supposed to be in this business? I suck." Like, that is how I felt, and is that true? Maybe sometimes, but no,
That's
but
real. For
yeah,
everyone. Truly, sometimes you suck.
sometimes you
Everybody, but
suck.
that's how you get better.
It sucks to feel like, "What am I doing?" But, it's like, I was so grateful because after rehearsal, it's like, I was beating my no one else knew this unless if they listened to this and they're like, "What?" But I was beating myself up internally, and I was like, "Dang, I'm ready to go home now." If I had a car, I might have shed a few tears in that car, but I don't have a car here in New York. We got the train.
Mhm.
You gotta live your public life on that train.
Mhm.
And
But sometimes you gotta just put on the sunglasses and cry it out.
ugh,
I've been there on the train, glasses, hoodie,
right,
sobbing.
right, right. And Andrew, I was so grateful because Andrew happened to be downtown.
Oh.
I know. And he was like, "What's up? What's wrong? How was your day?"
Mm.
And I was, like, trying my best to, like, put a face on and keep it together. I was like, "Ah." And it was nice for him to be there. But with that said, it is actually going well. I am looking forward to tomorrow. I It's a
Yes.
good show, Gab.
Yeah. You've got some talent in there. I've been looking at
There's a
that
lot of talent.
list. There's a lot of talent in
The
there.
the choreography is fantastic. The vibes are good.
Mm.
It's good. Am I ready for tomorrow? I don't know, girl. But,
Just show
um,
up. That's half the battle.
and be present. Dang. Sometimes we don't need to know the answers all in advance.
No, you can. We want to. Trust and believe. I dang on sure
Right?
do. Wish I could find the cheat sheet for life. I look for it every day.
Where is the
Literally look
freaking
for it.
cheat sheet? I have
But
another
what's the
question.
fun in that? Go
I
ahead.
and I'm sorry, this is a little off topic, but it's not. I wanna know your, because you touched on this a little bit. What is your opinion on networking
Mhm.
versus getting paid for something?
Mhm.
Doing something for free to make connections versus making that coin. Do you have any opinions on that?
Yes, lots of opinions. Let me find the best way to say this. And it's funny you're asking me this because my mother, who is the best historian in the world, this woman, my gosh, she sends me the best resources. Okay. You are never good enough to stop doing things for free. That's how I feel about it. And here's what I mean. You don't know everything. You're always learning. You can always learn something from everyone. With that said, you need to be smart about who you're giving your free time to. For example, Douglas Lyons. I have believed in that man, and I knew him towards the end of where he was about to level up, and have a show called Chicken and Biscuits on Broadway. Go see it. I
It's
caught
good.
him like right, it really is, right before that was about to happen. And I just remember talking to him and seeing something in him that number one felt familiar because I see it in myself too. And in you. And like who's so like truly though, like some
Yes.
people just have that je ne sais quoi, that thing. It's like this undoubtable, unshakable security in what they're doing. You know what I mean? Even if they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, there's like they know that they're meant for more. And he has that. And so and remember telling him, literally, Doug, anything that you do, you just let me know if you need help and I'm there if I can. And I ran like very little things that I did for him. Like I ran the sign-in sheet for a project he was doing. I auditioned for a Chicken and Biscuits, and that was more so. I
Didn't
didn't
even
really
get
think I
an
was gonna get it.
audition. What?
I didn't really think I was gonna get it. No, but
Hello?
but like it was just a nice experience though. But shoot, I guess I could have been in that show. Dang. But but it just in general. Oh, I did a reading, I read stage directions for something because someone dropped out. You know, you need those people who believe in you. And I did all of that for free. Never expected compensation. I was just happy to be in the room where it
Come
happened.
on.
Literally.
Yeah.
Because I want to be where great things are
This is
happening
a
with things I
really
believe in.
great example that you're saying. Go on.
Yeah. And so that's my opinion about doing things for free. But with that being said, you also have to choose your battles and weigh your options. And what I mean by that, there was a project that I was offered to do that was a lot, it was something I didn't need the experience in, and I really wouldn't have benefited from it. And I would not have been paid what I wanted to be paid. And I said no. It was a theater project. It still would have been really great. There were pros to that decision, but I weighed my options and I was like, it's not worth it for me. And that's not against that project. It was for me. And so you do get to, when you are charging people and you know that that particular thing could pay you a reasonable rate, or at least, you get what I'm saying. They could pay more, then that's a total different story. If it's a major network, for example,
Oh, yeah.
then it's like you can pay me more, you're choosing not to.
Correct. Correct.
And
Okay.
then that's when you have to weigh your options of, okay, well, you know what, thank you but no thank you, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing over here. But when it's with friends, because this business is about relationships, when it's with
Mm,
friends, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
yeah. Or even if it's something in your gut telling you, like,
Mhm.
I'm really enjoying this. I don't know where it could
Mhm.
lead or if it would lead anywhere, but it feels good.
Yep.
Maybe follow that
And then you might get paid down the line.
down the line.
Because if you can pay your friends, pay your friends. At least give them something. Like you did my cabaret with me. I gave you a small stipend. I didn't have money to be like boom, 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 but I made enough to where I could pay my artists. And if I can pay my artists, I'm going to pay my artists. But you do things, I like doing things for those types of people. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
people who I know truly have my back and they would have done the same thing for me if the tables returned. And sometimes you don't get that same courtesy, but that's okay. You shouldn't do things for things in return. And I know I kind of made it sound that way.
No, no, no. You made yourself understood. And I understand
Great.
what you're saying. And the heart of it is there. So
Hmm.
I think that's such a great lesson. And Gab, I just love you. I just love you. And you look so
Me
beautiful.
too.
Can I see your hair again, please?
Yes,
I'm like, if
girl.
this was
There's
an
the
episode, let
back.
me see. Get down in the
There's the
camera. I
little
can
thing.
see.
Oh, am I not? Here we go. They're
Yes,
my little baby
cute.
edges.
It's cute. You look so cute. How can people find you and follow you?
Yes. So I do have a blog that I have not written on recently, but y'all, it's about to change. I say this every time I'm in an interview, and it's called Illuminating Radiance. I already have some blog posts up there. They're really, really great. Please go check them out. It's honestly just more of this and about life lessons, because I think we can always learn and we should be ever learning. And then you can also find me on Instagram, where I'm very active. It's at Gab Elizabeth, Elisabeth, at Gab Elizabeth on Instagram. Please come check me out. Shoot me a DM. Let's chat. Let's kiki. Let's connect.
I love it, and I love you. Thank you so much for
I
joining
love
me,
you
and I can't wait to
too.
keep geeking with you because you know
Yes,
I love you,
I love you too. Thanks for having me, Salisha.
girl.